Check, check. I think it's working. I think it's check. Check it out, check. Check. Let's go. Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. It's Frid-Ai, and there's a lot of news on it today. I think it's nice, and I don't think it's an accident that Joe Biden will be giving a speech on AI today, and has announced that there is going to be a sort of a kumbaya between the White House and the big tech companies to, monitor and manage the growth of AI so it doesn't get out of control. Now, my first response to that, of course, being a lover of all things cybernetic organism, is other countries are going to do stupid things with AI and with a wanton disregard for the ramifications. A couple of them. We'll give it a try. This is in the same realm as bioweapons. They will mess around, they will fuck around and find out, is the idea. And in the process of doing that, your response should not be, well, we're not going to try and control it at all since somebody else is going to run amok anyways. The same thing goes for climate change. If you'll notice, Donald Trump's response most of the time to whether or not we, try to fix climate change is, China's not going to do anything. They're not going to China, right? So if China's not going to clean up their environment, we're going to be behind them economically because we're going to slow our growth down because we're not burning every coal chunk we run across, right? So, for for the record, he's an idiot. That's a dumb response. And of course, the countries that are the farthest ahead of everyone else should recognize the dangers and limitations around it. And I have news for you. We have done that with every single technology we have ever engaged in. Human beings always do this. I guess you can even go back to the fact that some European nations would not use the bow and arrow because they thought it was unchristian. They had the technology, they had the access, but you were killing strangers from too far away. And one of the things about a sword is you can smell the breath of the person that you're killing, and there's a certain honor to that, I suppose. And they were like, yeah, you can't just kill some fucker who's way in the back. He might be the person you can have a conversation with. Maybe it's the guy in the front who's a complete murderous asshole, but the guy in the back, he's like me. Like, nope, here, take this. Fuck. So they tried to mitigate it as much as they could. Now, and we should have, one would think, limits on chemical and biological weapons. Yes. So if governments can be involved in the limits on chemical and biological weapons, because what are you going to do? Trust corporations or cooperative groups of people to meet every Wednesday if they remember? I don't know what what the options are in these situations. I always love that. Like, you can't let governments control and do these kind of things. Like, well, we have a representative one. I'm completely fine with that. Who else? KFC? Who gets volunteered? You're gonna put together another elected body that's not elected the rest of the time? It's fun. That's a conversation we should have in general. Also, Tony Bennett has passed away. You may have heard this. He was 96 years old. So thoughts and love go out to his family and everyone around him. And I suppose Lady Gaga as well, because she was, partly responsible for his, being introduced to the kids. So, yeah. Here we go. And, yep, rip Tony. Jonathan, I'm very sorry. Um, but again, a long and storied life and beautiful. So there. And the people around, like I said, I'm often more sad for the people around somebody. The other person doesn't have any problems anymore. They don't have anything at all in that regard. But what they left is, in his case especially, is beautiful. So KFC, we do AI right. Well, that's my thing. Is like, if your elected government, if you don't trust your elected government, the people you put in charge, you get, and on the regular, you get a chance to change who they are in the United States on a scale that other countries don't, especially China and Russia. And you're like, I don't trust the government, but then you don't trust anybody to do anything. So how the fuck do you leave the house? How do you drive? How do you drive across town? If you don't trust the elected representatives of your area that want to get reelected, so certainly can't just wipe everybody out. They're putting stuff in the skies that affects all of us. You do realize they live under the sky too. What do you think? When they get elected, they pass out these like nose plugs that all elected representatives wear that they promise never to tell anybody. The fuck? So I find that conversation hilarious. So this morning the news is around AI is that top tech firms, top tech firms. I can speak. It's early. Top tech firms signed White House pledge to identify AI generated images. They're going to watermark them if they're made that way, which is cool. Which means everybody will put a wherever it is a border inside of it. When it comes to whatever, we'll see. Which is fine. That's a start. This is not the only thing. It's weird because that's not what they talked about. Like, White House announced that 7 of the most influential companies building artificial intelligence have agreed to voluntarily pledge to mitigate the risks of emerging technology, escalating the Biden administration's involvement in the growing debate over AI regulation. The companies, Google, Amazon, Microsoft, Meta, ChatGPT maker OpenAI, vowed to allow independent security experts to test their system before they are released to the public and committed to sharing data about the safety of their systems with the government and academics. The firms also pledged to develop systems to alert the public when an image, video, or text is created by artificial intelligence, a method known as watermarking. In addition to the tech giants, several newer businesses at the forefront of AI development signed the pledge, including Anthropic and Inflection. Bezos owns the Washington Post. Interim CEO Patty Stunsfer sits on Amazon's board. These are their offshoots. Apple is also working on one as well. Several of the signers have already publicly agreed to some similar actions to those in the White House pledge. Before OpenAI rolls out its GPT-4 system widely, it brought in a team of outside professionals to run exercises, a process known as red teaming. Google has already said in a blog post it is developing watermarking, which companies and policymakers have touted as a way to address concerns that AI could supercharge misinformation. Agreed. The commitments mark the Biden's White House most significant action to date to address the threat of AI. He's also going to be giving a speech later. So this is scheduled for 1:30 today, Eastern time. So we might pop in or see part of it as you do. And he met with Amazon, Meta, Google, and other tech executives at the White House and to announce new safety standards for artificial intelligence. Now, I don't know if it's a direct speech or he's making remarks and they're going to sit there and chat about this stuff. And then he's going to pass around pictures of himself as Dark Brandon and pictures of Donald Trump that make Donald Trump look like. Well, let me see if I can find something. How about? Wait, hold on. Like if somebody, I mean, I'm fairly certain people would not confuse this for a nobody would think Donald Trump having cheese thrown at him would they wouldn't think that's somebody really did that or really thinks that about him, would they? With bananas for hair, nobody spends their time on AI doing that. Nobody. Oh, good. I'm glad. I was worried about you guys. I thought you might do some of that stuff, and I was like, Somebody has to do something. Somebody's got to stop you folks in your tracks. And then let's see. There is this. Well, so hold on. We'll jump back to where we were. Chat room. And grab a little bit of conversation from you about is that the butthurt Trump NFT? Yes. Don't ask about the one where I was like somebody's throwing pineapples. Now, couple of things. Trump must be terrified right now. We'll get to that right now in a moment as well, because there's a lot this morning, because he's the threat of the next indictment is driving all of his supporters quite batty, which I find hilarious and stupid. But at the same time, I think he's reached almost a point of DGAF. Yeah. I think I don't think he can process how much trouble he's in. Yeah. Trial date. Yeah, she's a May trial date. Yes. So which is interesting, because the idea is that they were thinking March, which would give him time to finish the trial and be either jailed or exonerated right in time for the primary. Oh, it's going to be a nail biter. Because it's in May. What do you think it's going to take? A 2-week trial? Yeah. So May of next year is going to be insanity. So just count on me live streaming all day, like it's the OJ trial. We'll be back at that stuff. That's what's going to happen. I'm just going to help me support the show, folks, so that I can at least get some sort of an easy chair set up, because I'm going to be glued to that fucker. We got a quick trial. It'll be a quick trial. With 2 hours. We want quick trial and immediately handled. Do you have a presidential insurrection problem? No. Why you say that? No. Well, how do you handle your violent presidential insurrection issue? We have quick trial. Oh, quick trial. We have quick trial. What's a quick trial? What's that? Well, we have trial immediately and then shoot them. Shoot them both. You think Trump's going to be like, Trump, by the way, we got your, we drafted the bill you wanted about killing drug dealers, no matter how much or how little they've sold, or even if in the state they come from it's legal and they drove over into a state or crossed the state line, they're not even aware of it, and they just have their product that they sell at home. They're not even intending to. They just came to see their sick mom, but since they were arrested in a state where it's illegal, quick trial and pow, we got that. We wrote that all up for you. You're gonna love it. But we also it's the amendment process, and the Dems took over the House again. And their version of it has any president that engages in an insurrection gets a similar quick trial and a similar fan him. Is that noise coming out of his face or his ass? I don't know. That's so good times. So meanwhile, Biden will be doing regular president shit this morning after this gathering with the tech firms, because it's Frid-Ai and they're taking a cue out of my book. I think that's what's happening. I don't think that was an accident. I think that's going to have to be. They should have a team at the White House dealing with AI. I'm just telling you, and they should have their meetings on Frid-Ai. I'm just saying, so they can talk through the weekend. You're welcome. Washington Post has an entire thing on artificial intelligence using pictures that are made with artificial intelligence. Employees want ChatGPT at work. Bosses worry they'll spill the secrets. How an AI-written Star Wars story created chaos at Gizmodo. ChatGPT took their jobs. Now they walk dogs and fix air conditioners. ChatGPT hallucinates. Some researchers worry it isn't fixable. Well, you have to hook it up to the internet and it has to verify itself against multiple sources, but it's not fixable as long as it's not hooked up to the internet. Chat GPT get rich quick schemes are flooding the web. IBM could replace 7,800 jobs with artificial intelligence, CEO says. Their voices are their livelihood. Now AI could take it away. This is the where they copy your voice and do your own voiceover, which will be illegal, by the way. You can do it yourself if you want to use your own voice, but anybody who copies your voice and uses it, you'll be able to sue. AI can make movies, edit actors, fake voices. Hollywood isn't ready. Have they ever been ready? ChatGPT invented a sexual harassment scandal and named a real law professor as the accused. That's fun. I can draw hands now. That's bad news for deepfakes. Yeah, it had a hard time with fingers for a long time. 3D printed rocket fails to reach orbit, but still hailed as a success. I don't know why that's AI, other than maybe the AI engine in it or the modifications in the engine. What to know about AI? The company behind OpenAI, the company behind ChatGPT, it was supposed to be open and nonprofit. Now it's closed and profit oriented. Huh. Weird. It's almost as if Elon Musk is full of shit. And Peter Thiel. This was one of the early ones. They thought loved ones were calling for help. It was an AI scam. Somebody copied their kids' voices and said, "Help, help! Give me money, or I'm gonna die." And their kid was just fine. That's gonna be a couple layers deep in the next little bit. Black Rain is now reality. It's not quite yet, and I will say the biggest thing I'm waiting on, the biggest leap I think that will change our perception about all this, is the introduction of robots. Right now, almost nobody in society interacts with a robot. The percentage is incredibly small. Either people work at a factory like a car plant where they've got the moving arms, or you might have some carrier robots, or you have a restaurant that has a mobile tray that rolls around that doesn't have an arm on it. It just, people get their own food off of it. So it's really just a remote control programmable car with a shelf on it. None of that. Nobody's worried that thing's going to kill them, or wake up in the bed and the auto tray is trying to serve me, whatever. Anyway, so the big one will of course be that once they get arms and they can move around. What was this? Rand Paul what? Looks like Rand Paul left a pair of pants at his Bowling Green, Kentucky office. The building burned last night. Oh no. Will Smith's movie begs to differ, Hal. Yeah, well, that's the old robots in that are the first stage of that story, and will happen a lot faster than people think. That part is going to move forward much faster, because one of the things that AI can do, and if anybody plays Call of Duty or any of those games, they use a lot of modern video games use real physics, or attempting to use real physics, programming in the weight, gravity, distance, speed, all the information from crash test dummies for decades, all the information from mocap that they've gathered, and you put that all together and you feed it into an AI algorithm that can process it and understand it at a much higher speed. Then you can start going, okay, gears, engines, balancing systems that would help this robot walk around like a human. What components and what can we make it out of, whether it's carbon fiber or plastic, that would be the most resilient and within our safety mechanism past a certain point. And it will start, they're already making them. They're already using that AI for robot design. Then it's a matter of printing them. It's a matter of physical assembly. The first physical assembly will be a lot like car plants or any other factory. It's going to have people in there, because the robots themselves won't be articulate enough to do it. But that's 2 generations away after it starts, whatever it is. Once the robots start making robots, it's all a matter of resource. Yeah. Then it's a matter of, can the factory that makes the robots make the robots in get the materials necessary to make more robots? Um, and if their goal isn't to just randomly make more robots, it's just only make the robots that are ordered. I suppose. Wow, I just here's a hacker's dream. So one of the safety precautions. Work with me on this. Isn't it? You have a robot factory that builds robots. You got robots building robots. And the safety check on it is they only build the ones that they get orders for so that they don't just start building and building and thinking, I must build robots and therefore the humans are between me and the materials I would need. So I need to go steal parts and make robots. And so they go out into they start mining under, they figure out that there's cumulative stuff that they would need underneath the city, so they just start mining for it and make the city collapse and start killing people to try to stop them and blah blah blah. So the check on that to make sure they don't do that is that they only are interested in, they sit idle unless they're told to make something, which is pretty simple because that's a matter of programming. It's not like they have a desire. Desire is a very biological feature. But somebody hacks into the place and changes that into must build robots. Build as many as you possibly can. It's an emergency. And let no one stop you. And that would be that. Now, yeah, binary logic. And yes, every AI should have Klaatu Barada Nikto as its shut-off phrase. Klaatu Barada Nickel, nincompoop. What was it? Someone will hack it. It will happen. Well, the thing is it is a process, and therefore interrupting it should be okay. And there'll have to be safeguards against doing that. And you can put in these checks and balances. And again, we often confuse what AI or robots will do with what we would do in a situation because we get frustrated, we get irritated, we get mad, we get heartbroken. We have a limited amount of time. And that is one of the things, like, there will be, I had an idea for a robot horror film where the robot simply just keeps you from leaving the room because it knows you will starve to death. It doesn't have to kill you. It doesn't have to murder you or whatever. It just can. You can't break it because it's too strong. There's nothing in the room that will break it, and it just tied you to a chair and it can sit for a year. It doesn't care. And the minute you move, it wakes up and figures out what you're doing and stops you from doing it, and it goes back to sleep essentially. And that's that. What do you do? Right. So, because if it wanted to do that, it would simply wait. Humans invade a country because they have an ideological view of the past. They also do it because they need materials that are no longer available to them that are available there. That's most often how that happens, especially if it's workers in the case of like Sudan and, CAR and all the Central African nations. That's currently what's happening. So here's Futurepedia. We look at this one all the time. And these are the new AI tools. And you'll recall that in January, when I first started showing you guys this, there were like 8 things on here. Now they are endless. AI tools upon AI tools. And see the little blue checks next to them? These are just the ones that the people on this site have used and seen if it's actually worth a goddamn. Let's just look. There's 25 tools added today. This is last night, as of last night. So free AI photo editor. Pathfinder, brought to you by Summit, is let's see what Pathfinder is an innovative AI driven tool designed to assist individuals in creating personalized plans and strategies to achieve their goals. This tool is verified because it is either an established company or has good social media presence. I see. They don't even have time to check all these fucking things. Pathfinder. Goodbye, Tony Robbins. You've been replaced. Yeah, I'm not kidding. Webular is a website generator. Okay, there you go. So again, when you see like a news site and they're like, "Oh my God, they've got this news site has got all these reporters and these people on it, and it's been around for a long time," it might be completely fake because these things will generate fake reporters and their names and you could just fill it in with stories. Just have the like take the top 5 news stories every day and write a news story in the voice of this person and post it here. And that's all she wrote. You could even do it now. Do 10 a day for the last, let's do 15 a month for the last 10 years. Take a story that happened, randomly around this topic for the last 10 years and write a story based on that. So it'll look like this place has a history. It's been here for a long time. You can do that too. Scribe is a tool that converts any process into what? Into a step-by-step visual guide. I see. So this is where you just kind of talk something into slides. Okay, whatever. Azemio. Skyrocket online sales with AI-driven ads. Great. Nuema is an AI augmented reality app that sounds like a Tool song, designed to help users focus and meditate. Focus on this point. Believe only what I tell you. Relax and enjoy the flashing light that will explain to you how the world should work. Welcome to my cult app. I am Nuema. How about no, you crazy Dutch bastard? Newsletter pilot. Say goodbye to tedious newsletter creation. Sign up for my newsletter. It's tedious. I gotta say, most newsletters are tedious. I will say that. I gotta, Tangia is a powerful tool that supercharges viewer what? Engagement for streamers. Oh, look out. This tool is verified because it's the ultimate tool for streamers who want to take viewer engagement to the next level, like nobody has ever seen. With Tangia, thousands of streamers have transformed their streams into a highly interactive and entertaining experience for their audience. Oh boy, am I going to have to use this? It's going to happen, isn't it? Okay. Interactive stream engagement, supercharge. What does it do? Benefits: boost viewer interaction and retention, create memorable and exciting stream experiences. That's my job. Increase audience loyalty and enthusiasm. I couldn't possibly. You guys are amazing. I've topped it out. This thing can't possibly help me. Celebrate milestones with fun and energetic Tangia parties. Okay. Cool, I guess. Tangia. What are we? It sounds like it makes you go off on tangents. I don't know. This thing keeps suggesting that I talk about. One time I was at this party and this guy, and it's weird because they served these little hors d'oeuvres, and hors d'oeuvre, I always thought that was one of the least appetizing words. And the reason I thought that, by the way, Tangent is my middle name. I'm just saying. And there's a funny story how I got that middle name. All right, Atlas Navi is an AI-powered navigation app that aims to be the leading choice for drivers worldwide. Sorry, like you're gonna catch up with Google Maps and Apple, and why? Or are you just gonna piggyback on them? Accomplice. This sounds good. This is great. Welcome to here's Black Mirror meets True Crime. Accomplice is a platform that simplifies logo, photo, and graphic generation for teams, providing royalty-free content and cutting costs while saving time, and also gives you an alibi and a getaway driver. Accomplice. All right. Vidnami Pro is an AI-driven online creation platform that enables businesses to create various types of video content, including content videos, sales videos, influencer videos, e-commerce ads, course videos, and real estate videos, and more. Like more and more, you're going to see a shit ton of stuff on YouTube, if you haven't already, that is full of that kind of stuff. I'm shocked at how many people, like I used to, that were on my kind of regular feed as influencers or podcasters or whatever, that I would check out their shorter videos, and they're really just their voice or a voice over a bunch of stock images that this stuff pulls from wherever. It's a little ridiculous. Oh boy. Genie Machine, I'm going to go with Genie Machine, is a no-code AI decision-making platform that provides dedicated software for business predictions. Oh my God. What? Make Skynet. Oh wait, don't. Too late. I already did. I knew you'd want it, and then not want it again. So I programmed it to kill anyone who didn't want it. There's a knock at your door. Dunk, dunk, dunk. I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. JAD Bio is a no-code machine learning tool. This is only $6,597 a month, but it has a freemium version. Paid plans start from $6,597. Accelerate drug discovery. JAD Bio is a no-code machine learning tool that automates the discovery of biomarkers, making it ideal for researchers in drug discovery, biomarker identification, response to treatment studies. And here, RFK is going to be so upset because the U.S. government and China has been spending hundreds of millions of dollars on creating ethnically targeted bioweapons, and they could do it for just the low price of $6,000 a month. So I guess privatize everything is the goal. Speak AI is there's a bunch of things that give people prompts. Review reply resume. Yeah, it sucks. That's a stupid name. Resume. Resume. I got the job. Presto is an AI-driven automation tool designed specifically for drive-through restaurants. Okay. Create art with AI. I've heard of that. I've heard people are doing that. Star AI is an AI art generator app available. Yeah. So all the offshoots won't have AI watermarks, but all the stuff by Google and will. So great. Okay. Turn every team member into a revenue leader. Here's one of the problems with. Okay. Let me talk to you for a second. Chat room. We'll jump back in here. Pretty good Rush album. Yeah. How is Presto not taken? There is one called Presto. I guarantee it. Here's one of the problems I have with the concept. This is a dot-com boom all over again. Investment in tons of trash that will crash. Absolutely. But the thing is, the difference is that you used to have to pay a bunch of coders with your idea. So the dot-com boom happened, and then the cost would outrun the profitability of it, or the user interface, and the ability to update and keep updated required even more programmers and all that shit. Now you can do that with half the people. So they're hoisted by their own petard, as it were. But here's the thing. Let's say the big companies get together and agree to watermark all AI images. So little startups will work around it. And so there'll be an assumption that will make AI imaging even more dangerous, that if it doesn't have a watermark, it must be real. Yeah. See what I mean? Do I have to think? Do I have to do all the thinking? Do I have to do all the thinking? All right. Legalize pimping. I think that's one of the apps. Pimp AI. Turn every team into a revenue leader. I mean, kind of. How is this different from Pimp AI? At a certain point, when do you think that crossover is? This is kind of an interesting question from the Restream chat. I think that was on YouTube. Don't forget to like, subscribe, give a thumbs up, support the show, because no one else has these conversations. How long before sex workers get digipimps? They use these sales, marketing, and customer building bases to get customers. and post ads and then take them all down at once, or or hide them, or change the wording on them so they avoid the law and all that kind of. Always make sure that, and because you could incorporate it, you literally could, you could tie. I'll show you what I mean. There is I don't know where the federal one is, but ChatGPT. Let me see. How do I? Let me see if I can find this on here. Because I have plugins on here. One second. See if I can open my ChatGPT on this computer. I'll show you something in here. Because the ChatGPT now has plugins that you can use, and I'll show you that. It might be panicking because everybody's using it all at once. Let's see, next, done. Okay, there we go. We'll close this. Bill free as the fast model great for everyday tests. Okay, we're set on there. Yeah. Okay. So. All right, so chat, okay, wow, that's new. Okay, so let me show you something. This is ChatGPT Plus. I have ChatGPT Plus because I'm cool like that. Pretty blank, you just put whatever in. And here's the, you can use ChatGPT 3.5, that's the older version, it's faster. It's the one that doesn't have access to the internet, and all your information will have to predate a date in like November of 2021. ChatGPT 4 is the newest one. It has plugins. Now I'll go, here's the plugins. These are the ones that I have loaded in here. I don't have any of them enabled. There's browser op. Browse dozens of web pages in one query, fetch information more efficiently. Which is always helpful. Every print 3D, generate 3D ideas and bring them to life with our expert support. Apartment list, Aardvark, News Pilot, which gathers news stories, global, like using a myriad of sources. Ask your, eliminate hallucination, organize your knowledge, chat with it, visualize it. Ask your KG is where you enter in, like, here's the manual for, here's a PDF of the manual for the new device I'm using at work. And I know how to basically use it, but I don't want to have to read the manual to do it. I'll ask a question. How do I do this? And it'll write it in a response like there was a human with you. Like you have an AI co-pilot. That's what that is. And it's great. Okay, here's US federal law. Get up-to-date access to federal law. And there's a California one there too. See that one? California law. Get up-to-date access to California law. So let's say you're a sex worker and you get that ChatGPT plugin and you get some other sales something or other. I don't really have those because they don't have AI agents yet, but the minute they do, you guys are move over CAA. It's time for CAI. Oh shit, I'm so gonna open that. But let's say they put those two together, right? You're done. You know, and AI is never gonna say, if you don't have my money, is AI gonna have to choke a bitch? Right? It's not gonna happen. And because, like I said, you have aligned it with the law, everything you type, you know, that you, and by the way, here's the plugin store. Okay, I know that. All right. So these are plugins that are available currently. Let me move this up here so I can show you this a little bigger. Okay. This is just the popular ones. There are 3 pages of popular ones. One of the biggest ones is this Ask Your PDF, AI PDF, which is very much like that KG thing I just showed you, which is you take a book or you take specifically an instruction manual or something, you know, and believe me, there are any law firm that is not currently either building an AI that they plan to sell to all other law firms that will have access to all the up-to-date law and the case files and whatever, the trial documents they would go to, in Wingman versus Dingleberry, versus .gov. If they're not putting all that stuff in right now, somebody else is. Just saying. But that essentially, let's say you're a jailed inmate with AI privileges, and you can get copies of your case files and the any legal arguments your your public defender has made. You upload those cases, and then you can talk to it like a person, and it will explain it to you in natural language. There's Kayak, Keymate AI, browser web search using Google-powered search results. That's a web crawler. That's, again, one of the things that gives you access to the internet. So all this stuff about they don't have access to the internet is hooey. They've had access to the internet for a long time. They can just get stuff. They can scrape. They just can't, inject stuff without your help yet. So page 2. Notable. Create notebooks in Python, SQL, and Markdown to explore data, visualize, and share notebooks with everyone. This is coder shit. So the coders have jumped in on this a lot to try and get ahead of to raise productivity. And when people at these big tech companies say we're going to replace 7,000 workers with AI, most of what they mean is we're going to have 14,000 workers. We're going to have that worker and an AI with them. And quite frankly, there's going to be a point where you have cultivated your own AI around a specific set of skills that other people may not have done it. Like I trained this AI on all the stuff related to these things, and it can help me, and it's proprietary. I only know the password to it. So if you hire me, you get my AI working right next to me. Look for a decade of that. Or you can rent out your AI that you built to bigger corporations. That's also going to happen. People will train themselves out of jobs. That's the thing they won't, because their job will require that kind of knowledge, and they can license their own AI. And another AI might know it very specifically, because any company should know what the fuck goes on in their own company. But when it comes to anything that requires creative skill or the ability to incorporate a bunch of stuff, be it, remember all design jobs were fucked, right? That way they were going to go, because everybody's going to make up fake images and artists are done. Okay, now the next step is the exact opposite, is that the most repeatable task stuff is what's going to go. Yeah, an AI secretary. Everybody comes with an AI secretary that remembers an AI assistant that's always with you. There you go. Scholar AI, unleash scientific research. I have installed that one already. With 40 million plus peer-reviewed papers, explore scientific PDFs, and save to reference managers. So if I ask for sources on stuff, it will give it to me. Show me diagrams. You can make diagrams. I've fucked around with that a little bit. I'm hoping to be able to use it for graphics in the future. I made if you'll notice, there was a graphic in the background of one of my thumbnails a little bit ago. That was me dicking around with that. I haven't found a point where it's useful yet, but it will be. Video insights. If you have vidIQ, it's the same thing. And WebPilot, browse web pages and all that stuff. Same thing. There are variations on this theme that you can make it go look at the internet. Wolfram is probably the most important one. Wolfram is a giant supercalculator, essentially. Access computation, math, curated knowledge, and real-time data through Wolfram Alpha and Wolfram Language. This is if anything will keep AI from quote-unquote hallucinating, what I like to call bullshitting, because that's what it's doing, it's Wolfram. If it can check it against Wolfram. And Zapier is interacted with over 5,000 apps like Google Sheets, Gmail, HubSpot, Salesforce, and thousands more. This actually you have to set up, and you create your own sort of internal thing. This is next level. This is where your business requires strategizing and functional use of a bunch of different apps and a bunch of different stuff, and you can create your own kind of sub app through Zapier, if that makes sense. And now you can design those things by talking to ChatGPT, but through natural language. And again, is Rob Glenn here? Thank God. Rob Glenn, are you here? Rob, please back me up on this. because I have to say, like, um, Rob Glenn and I, we need to powwow. The next time I'm in Chicago, he and I are having dinner with no one else present, so we can work this shit out. I might have to. Please super chat. We might have to buy out the whole restaurant so nobody knows what's going on. We're going to take over the world. Non-coders will suck. Oh, it's a possibility. So AI will make great coders as a one-man army. Yes, that's right. Has Hal started Hal Talk? So that's where we are right now. I would think I do qualify as a futurist because I've got I got a pretty good track record as far as predictability and some of this stuff. And by the way, Boston Brian, if you're in the crowd today, would you like to come on the radio show tomorrow? I was gonna I know he has to work sometime, so I know that Friday mornings are there's too much overlap in the world. So anybody, let him know if he's not if he'd like to come on the radio tomorrow in the second half of the top hour. That would be awesome. Always have qualified as a futurist out. Yes, I think so. You're waiting. We're not far from an AI kidney. We're so close. Look for Brian's coming. Oh, thank you. I was worried about the kidney. But yes, if he can be on tomorrow, that would be terrific. Because he covered there was an element of Marjorie Taylor Greene talking about us being involved in Ukraine is just like how Vietnam started, and I saw Boston Brian's response to that, and I was like, my brother. So I'd love to pick his brain on air about that as well, because good Lord, that was dumb. So anyways, let's go back to where we were. These are just the popular ones, okay? These are just the ones. You want to see the new ones? The new ones are the ones that concern me all the time. I have to say, the only time I technologically white knuckle shit is when I look at the new stuff. When I show you some of the new plugins. Oh, sorry, plugins. Listen to me. Sorry, I'm reading it. Hal, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure AI is illegal in some levels. If legal boundaries haven't been set, they should now. No, it is not. There is no legal limit on AI currently of any sort. I mean, beyond, if you ask it to code something that is, used for terrorism, it's the same as if you asked another person to help you. It can't go to jail because it's an unwitting partner. Imagine Rain Man, but Dustin Hoffman's character is an AI, and they're trying to create a bioweapon. It wouldn't be his fault. He can't tell the difference between reality and what he's going through and all. None of that. So he wouldn't be to blame. It would be the person who used him. Yeah. I wanted to Twitter Spaces. Huge mistake. It was a dumb writer saying she was using it to develop character. So I tried and said it was tired of. It said was tired of this conversation. That's funny. All right. So here's this one's making an invoice. Cool. This is autofill. This is not any kind of high level Mark. Oh, okay, sorry. Oh, good. Okay, yes. Well, I didn't know if he had said yes as far as Brian being on today. So hold on 1 second then. Let me see if I can bring him in, because if he can be on today, I'll have him on tomorrow as well to talk about this stuff. I think it'd be lovely. But if that's cool, yeah. Also, Biden's going to be doing this thing in a minute. So I'll open up, give me 1 second. I'm going to open up the video, and if he's available, then yeah, he'll hop in right now. We'll talk to him. Cool. And everybody's like, this is over my head. It won't be. I'll make it, I'm gonna, I'll make it palatable, I promise. Let's see, get back in. Oh, I don't want Firefox. What am I doing? Way to go, dum-dum. Let's see. I got to grab this guy. Excellent. And here we go. I'm opening up the video so I can be ready for him when he comes in. Oh, hey, there he is. Good. Excellent. Okay, cool. Love it. Okay, turn on my camera, and then I'm going to put my headphones in, and we're ready to talk. This is great.
This is good stuff, man. Hold on. I'm very excited.
I know my batteries are 100%, lady. I get it. It's so funny how we talk to, what we now take for granted when we talk to digital, like assistants or simple recordings of things, any of that shit. Like, it's amazing how that got really normal. Asking, Siri or Alexa to do something. Making sure these guys are there. And let me check for me, Brian. Let me see if I can hear you. Oh, wait, hold on. Dink. There he is. I hear him, I think. Is that you or me? Nope, he's not there. Why am I not hearing audio? I'm hearing a weird slapback something because I wasn't expect this. It's fine. I'm going to do it this way. 1 second. Get out of here. Oh, I know why. One of the reasons why I was like, I should probably have him on tomorrow was because there was a Windows update last night and none of the other software has caught up yet. Nightmare scenario. Hold on. Give me 1 second. It literally doesn't want to click back. Okay, I'm just clicking at software. That's not AI. We're talking about the future of technology, and it's just, all right, gibberish. Hold on 1 second. I'm going to try this. I'm going to try another method. 1 second. I'm not afraid. I'll make it happen. I give a shite. Okay, we'll go to this guy. We go to studio mode. We pop this in. We go to here. We do it into this one. We throw this in here. We copy this to here. We paste. We throw that in there. We go to OK. We take off. His name is not Philip, so I'm taking his name off there. And then I put on Boston Brian. And the question is, you look fantastic. I can see you just great. Video wise, it's a huge improvement. I feel like he's been investing in his setup. It's very exciting. The question is, will I be able to hear him? So let me shut this down and restart this little guy. Hold on. Close that window. Yeah, no, it's just, okay. Hello, everybody. Hello. Yep, that's a thing. Hold on 1 second. If I go to, yep, that's just basically a piece of frozen software because they did not update this to catch up with whatever I did last night. That's the thing I never get to test. Son of a. Oop. Well, that's good. Now one of my pieces of gear has gone to sleep. Literally, the screen on this just went dead. It just went away. That's fun. All right, you. Now my voice sounds like shit. No, it's all right. Everything's fine. It's stuck. It's doing something. It doesn't know what it's doing. We'll see. Watch this. This is the fun part. Dear God, help us.